What's up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue. What I'll be making today is going to be some fish tacos. Now, I was turned on to fish tacos back in the late 80s, early 90s when I was in the Marine Corps out in San Diego. And ever since then, I've been making them myself. And it's one of my favorite recipes. Anyway, this video is going to be in collaboration with another YouTube channel. And he lives out in California right now, so I'm sure he is up on these as well. The name of that channel is going to be Cooking with CJ. I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the iCard above and description below, as well as his video in the iCard and description. Now, as far as these fish tacos go, like I said, I got up on these back in the late 80s, early 90s, and I make them a lot. They kind of follow the same concept, but they're always just a little bit different. So you won't be seeing me leave like a recipe in the description. What you might see are ingredients that I use, and really this video is just for inspiration more than it is an actual recipe. Anyway, I'm going to break this into a few different segments because we're going to be marinating the fish, we're going to be making a slaw, we're going to be doing a little simple guacamole, and then we're going to be kind of cooking the fish. So it's going to be kind of broke down in segments, and we'll kind of go through each ingredient as we go. Anyway, what I need to do is, I need to get what I'm going to make for our marinade, because we're going to go ahead and get that started first. As far as this marinade goes, we're going to keep it pretty simple. I would like to use fresh limes, but they were trying to sell whole limes for $3 for $1, and that's a little bit much for me. Anyway, I already have a little bit of lime juice in the bottom of my container. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more. And as you cook it, some of that lime flavor is going to dissipate, so don't worry about that. So we have our limes in. I have about 4 garlic cloves. And like I said, this is just for inspiration. Come up with something on your own. I'm sure it'll be great. Old Bay seasoning. We're going to go ahead and throw some of that in. Don't have to worry about being too heavy-handed on it. As a matter of fact, we may be seasoning it up a little bit down the road again. Got that. We're going to go ahead, throw some olive oil in. And if you don't have one of these, a blender would work, or you could, you could do it by hand as well. So we're going to go ahead and get this blended up. All right, so that is good to go. We're just going to go ahead and pour this directly over our fish. And I have a glove on. We're just going to go ahead and kind of make sure everything is coated well. This is going to go in the refrigerator. We're going to have a chance to let this marinate for about 2 hours, something like that. In the meantime, we are going to go ahead and get started on our slaw. Working on this slaw, again, this is just something that I kind of throw together, and it comes out a little bit different every single time. Anyway, I'm starting off with some cilantro we already have in here. And we're just eyeballing it. I'm hitting it with some mayonnaise. Now this could be crema, it could be mayonnaise, it could be anything creamy like that. Now vinegar, definitely want some vinegar in there. I happen to be using some of this Hippie green cucumber vinegar that my man Thyron from TNT Barbecue brought me from the Amish store. He paid $1. You can find this on Amazon for close to $11. Anyway, let's eyeball some of that. And it's really not coming out of this bottle that fast, so I know it looks like it might be a lot, but it really isn't. This stuff is good though. I don't know if it's worth $11, but in case you're willing to spend $11, link will be in the description below. Gonna hit it with some of this lime juice. And again, hit it with some of this Old Bay. Normally I would go with some pepper or something like that in this, but the jalapenos we're going to be using for this slaw are extremely spicy today. Anyway, let's go ahead and blend this up. All right, that's a wrap right there. Now we're going to go ahead and get this slaw made up. So basically I have cabbage, tomatoes thinly sliced, jalapenos thinly sliced, and red onions thinly sliced. So I'm just gonna throw all this in the same bowl. I'm gonna pour our dressing over it. Let me taste it right quick, make sure we're good to go. Now, that is good. Anyway, this is a nice green dressing we're gonna throw on here. And now we're just gonna kind of toss it together. These vegetables are gonna wilt a little bit when they're in the refrigerator. So these are gonna have a chance to come together, you know, again, about 2.5 hours. Now let's go ahead and get this guacamole hooked up. Now, since I have a lot of ingredients in that slaw, a lot of heat, a lot of those flavors, we're gonna keep this slaw this guacamole pretty simple. So I'm actually making a whole lot more than what I'm gonna need for these tacos, but that's because guacamole is definitely one of our favorite things to eat around here. All right, so we got these avocados in here. Now, when it comes to the cilantro, there's two kinds of people. People that hate it, people that love it. I'm one of those people that happens to love it. Now, I do have cilantro, obviously, in that slaw that we made earlier, but I'm such a cilantro lover. Boom, we're gonna hit it with a little bit more here. We're gonna go with some of this lime juice as well. Again, we're just eyeballing this, and that's the best thing about some of these recipes is not actually having to follow a recipe, just wing it, you know what I'm saying? Got that in, we're gonna go ahead and hit it with some salt. Now, an optional ingredient. We do have those jalapenos in that slaw, and trust me, those jalapenos are hot. But there is a company named Tango Spice Company that sells this spice called Tango Verde. This stuff is awesome. I'm gonna add a little bit of heat. It smells wonderful. We're gonna go ahead and add some of this in to add a little bit of heat. I'm gonna leave a link to where you can buy this stuff as well as some of his other spices in the description below. Anyway, some of the stuff in this, you got garlic, onion, cumin, jalapenos, habanero, celery seeds, salt, and oregano. A nice combination for some guacamole. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and mix this stuff up. We're leaving this simple. I'm gonna throw this in the refrigerator and it's gonna have a chance to sit. And when my wife gets home from work, we'll go ahead and start on these tacos and the fish. So now it's time for us to go ahead and cook this fish. I have a thin layer of oil in here, and we're just gonna go ahead and set them in the skillet. And we want there to be a little bit of room between each of these fillets because we're not going to want to steam it. We're going to want to kind of get a little bit of a crust on it if possible. You don't have to worry about this breaking apart because we are going to be breaking them apart in the end anyway. Okay, so to tell if this is ready to flip, we're just going to go ahead and if it releases from the pan, we should be good to go. So we're just going to go ahead and flip them over. And we're gonna go ahead and let these cook until they're cooked all the way through. So all of our fish is cooked. I have that in the oven staying warm. In the meantime, Mason's gonna knock out some of these taco shells. Tell them what we're doing and why we're doing it.
Well, we're cooking these tortillas in this oil to make them nice and tough so they don't break apart when we eat them.
And I think it gives it a little bit of flavor, kind of cooks out some of that raw cornness. Anyway, hook it up, Mason. Now what we are gonna be doing, and once these things get cooked down a little bit, is he's going to be setting them aside. Then we're going to be throwing them in our taco racks right here and throwing them in the oven for about 3 minutes just to get a little crisp. So Mason's got these tortillas hooked up. Now he's going to go ahead and put them in this taco rack. Now these taco racks, they come individual like this, and they come in a taco rack like this. I'm going to leave a link to the tacorack.com website in the description below. Anyway, go ahead and hook those up. I'm gonna get this fish out right quick.
Okay.
So while he's hooking that up, I'm gonna take some of this fish and we're just gonna break it up. We're not gonna wanna break it up too much. We're just gonna wanna kind of flake it into smaller bite-sized morsels. And when he's done with these tacos or taco shells, we're gonna throw those in the oven. I have the oven at about 305 degrees. We're just gonna throw them in there for about 2 minutes just to crisp them up a tad. So right now it's a wrap. All that we need to do is build these tacos. We're just gonna go ahead and throw a little bit of this meat, this fish into each one. Doesn't need to be too much. Let me just go ahead and complete one. So we got that. I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with this guacamole next. Then we're gonna come over it with this slaw, and it should be a wrap after that. I may go ahead and add some fresh tomatoes on top, just for appearance reasons only. But I tasted this fish out of this world. All right, y'all, 3 things. First of all, I know I can't get this big old Newt Rottney head into this video screen. That's number 1. Number 2, run by my boy Cooking with CJ. Check out his fish taco video. Number 3, listen, if you like making tacos, you gotta get these taco racks. These things are the bomb. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna show off the 6-piece -1 since my wife is eating one of those. What do you think about that? Anyways, she just stuffed her goddamn mouth, so.
Me? Sorry, they're really good.
Anyway, they're really good. We haven't tasted them yet. We're gonna show off the single taco rack right here. All right, let's get in, see what's up. You have to eat the whole half a thing.
That guac and that slaw is so good. Got some nice kick to it. That fish is tender, well seasoned. It's amazing.
You know, that's gotta be my favorite white fish right there. As a matter of fact, I need to be buying a bunch more of that.
What is it?
This is cod. Anyway, man, this stuff is out of this world. For all you guys that stop by here, you know I do appreciate it. Me and Head Flintstone are gonna go ahead and finish knocking this bad boy out. Thanks for stopping by No Hippie Barbecue. I appreciate it. Comment, subscribe. I'm out.
Those are the shit.
Yeah, they are.